Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the F1XL race here in Division 3. Here we are joined by, we have Yadon Checks in the McLaren with Wadey in the kicks over here. My Life FC in the Haas with Adski in the V-Carb. Leonardo ST in the Mercedes with Slow Dog in the V-Carb, and RPL Titan Iron in the Ferrari with Hakejow in the Alpine. Lynx Adventura in the McLaren and F1XL Roland in the Red Bull with DNG Titan in the Alpine. Skangman in the Ferrari, Hubaday in the Aston Martin, BT in the Haas, Rambo Jambo in the Red Bull, Powell in the Kick Sauber. Now, I don't know what music has just started playing, but we are going to stop that just now as we head into qualifying. Here we are. So we'll see who heads out first, and whoever that is we will head on board with for their first lap around the circuit. Loud. Towards turn 1 then, we are braking just before the 100 board, sorry. Turning into the apex, very nicely done. And then braking here just before the 50 board, between 75 and 100, turning left into a big, nice and long straight, opening up your DRS as wide as possible and using some of that overtake down towards turn 3. Braking here at the 100 board, left, get as close to that inside wall as possible and extend the exit as wide as possible, braking between 100 and 50 there again as he hits the wall. RPL Titan Iron, that is not the lap he will be wanting here, but I don't think he has any damage there as he turns right. Turns left. This is a horrible lap from him. I think this lap's over. A Mercedes driver approaches the line. I think that's Leonardo ST as he puts in the fastest lap with a 1:39.9. That's a brilliant lap from him. He should be well proud of himself after that absolutely stunning performance for our championship leader. Next across the line, it is a Ferrari of Skangman. Let's see what he can do. Also 0% ERS. Can he break to the line? He brings it to P2. Skangman with a 140.1. Absolutely loving life in the top in that Ferrari. Not crashed it. He has done a brilliant job there. He's very proud of himself. Only to be 2/10 away from Leonardo's godlike time. Leonardo turning left, right, and foot to the floor now as we head towards the start-finish straight. Trying to get as much speed out of that young Mercedes as possible, but he's used all of the ZRS. That is not what he'll be looking for. He'll be losing time as BT gets a collision with My Life, as that's a 1:39.7. What a tremendous lap from the Mercedes driver. Absolutely brilliant. A win here could absolutely be massively beneficial towards his championship bid. And heads up, braking just before 50s. That's contact between Lynx Adventura and the Ferrari behind. That is not good at all for the McLaren of Lynx Adventura, or any of the drivers that are driving past. This will hamper their laps 100% as he gets back and continues driving. Here's Leonardo then towards the start-finish line. Manages to open up in his hot lap mode, bring it towards the outside wall, hug the outside wall. He turns in, brilliant turn in there, brilliant, absolutely brilliant from him with his ERS usage and his lap track usage as well. Turning in here for the left-hander, you can see he brings it to the outside, brings it to the inside, and then brings it right round using his throttle control to help his speed, and using his throttle control to also just help his overall rotation in the car. Approaching now the twisty-turny section of the castle section. We turn left and we brake and we turn left again, and he touches the wall just a touch, but that shouldn't issue him a lot. He is doing an absolutely phenomenal lap just now from what I'm seeing from the offboard. He is absolutely flying through this whole section of track with the 1:39.7 currently on his belt. Can he improve as he goes through the sector 2 end? He's 2/10 up at the moment. 1:39.5 we're currently looking at roughly for his best times. F1XL Roland retires from the session. He's probably happy enough with his grid position. We're watching Leonardo go through. Power on his overtake button, turn on the DRS as he goes as fast as he can towards the start-finish line. Can he improve? He goes a 1:39.613 for the Mercedes AMG Petronas Formula 1 team. Absolutely phenomenal lap from him. Winning the last race in Kota as he crosses the line, just misses the P1 pole position behind Leonardo. As we go towards the formation lap, Leonardo doesn't pull us away. Slow Dog actually pulls us away, and he goes into first position in the formation lap. What's going to happen here then? Is Leonardo going to try to get past? Is Slow Dog going to give his position back, or is Slow Dog just going to roll with it and see what happened? Good race we've got here, folks. Stay with us as we finish the drivers all getting up onto the grid. The drivers all line up very nicely, it must be said, as 1 red light, 2 red light, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, as we put our feet to the floor when the lights go out. It's a good start, I think, from Leonardo, who manages to stay ahead as Roland is pushing Slow Dog towards turn 1. Slow Dog has contact. That is a massive accident there. Could have been a lot worse for Slow Dog. Has he got damage? What is happening here? We are watching some form of bumper cuts racing with Slow Dog, it appears. Has he got damage? I don't know, but that's not the start that P4 in the championship was wanting. He was wanting to improve in his position, not make it worse, as there is contact all over the field here for these drivers. This is not good. Not good for Slow Dog at all. We're seeing everyone get past. Yadon Checks is getting past. Slow Dog has dropped way back as Powell gets ahead of My Life in the Haas. Leonardo immediately gets a lead of 2 seconds, as that is a driver spun round of My Life FC, spun round on the approach to the castle section, not what he was wanting. As we see in Alpine, maybe just looking for a move as Hubady uses the DRS to get past Rambo Jambo in the Aston Martin. But Rambo Jambo pulls a little switchback move. Can Hubady stay ahead? He can pull it around the outside, the inside of this corner even, and he does get past as he watches Powell then get past Rambo Jambo, and that's a Haas in the wall again. He's got even more wing damage now. Twisty section. Very tight and twisty track in general. As we watch Rambo Jambo, what has he happened here? As it's a yellow flag, he's letting lots of people pass, don't know why. Has he got damage? Did he hit the wall? No, I don't think he did. I don't know what has happened there to the Red Bull driver, but he has just lost a whole lot of positions in this race. We watch Skingman now pull to the inside. Can he pull a move off here? No way, as there is contact between the two drivers as it touches the back of the V-carb there. Bringing it through the castle section nice and tight. We're watching Adske in front of us on board with Skingman as he uses some overtake. Can he just maybe control that prancing horse round maybe the inside or the outside? Can he pull off a move? Can he use the ability of that horsepower of the prancing horse? I think Adske touched the wall there, which has given Skingman the opportunity to get past into the last braking zone of the track. He goes a bit wide, but that's fine, because Adske now, he'll be thinking he has a run. He pulls to the inside, maybe. No, not quite, because he knows he can't pull a move in that corner. He knows that is not what he's looking for, as he pulls now to the inside of the track. He's going to get DRS. He's ahead of Skingman and back into the podium positions as he recovers from that. Hake Zhou now wanting to make a move on the Ferrari ahead, but not quite making sure of that. As we see Yadon checks pit, has he got damage? That would be highly unfortunate for the McLaren driver. He does. He gets that front wing replaced. That is not what he's looking for this early into the race. He will be hating this. Absolutely hating this. Faster Ferrari drivers. As Lynx Adventura makes a move on the Haas driver. There's a contact and there's a crash as the Alpine goes into the wall. That was very similar actually to the Sergio Perez incident and Carlos Sainz incident of 2024. BT and Lynx Adventura are wheel to wheel going towards turn 3. Lynx Adventura locks up Goes a bit wide, loses a couple of positions, but still manages to hold it and not quite go into the wall. That's probably a good thing for the McLaren driver, because we do not want a safety car at the moment. His teammate at Ferrari. BT, what's happened here? There's a crash. DNG Titan has spun around and there is debris all over the track. That is not what's good at all. I'm surprised that's not a safety car, if I'm being honest with you. But the track's gone green. They continue to move. Rambo Jambo losing positions with Powell, and Lynx Adventura has made it back up to P10. Impressive stuff from the McLaren after being P14 only a minute ago. He needs to just make sure he stays focused as, oh, that's a Ferrari of Skengman has spun round and crashed, and there is debris again all over the track. I'm surprised we've not had a safety car yet, but he manages to continue going. He will need that front wing change though, as those flaps are gone and his end plate is also gone. That is not a good front wing. That is not looking in a healthy condition, and that is not what Skengman is looking for in the slightest. Staying on F1XL roll, because that looks like the smallest gap in the field just now, other than the two Haas drivers down in P14 and P15. But this is the battle we're all looking for. 5 tenths as they both crawl into the pits. Maybe it's for the undercut and Leonardo, maybe, who knows, but we will see who will manage to get this strategy battle to work out better. As Slow Dog heads into the pits as well. Did he ever get his damage fixed? I don't think he had damage actually, we established that on the first fact, but Haekjao now managing to go through the pit lane and exits P3. That's what the Alpine driver was actually properly looking for, as Leonardo comes into the pits. Going towards pit lane, very nice stop from the Mercedes pit crew, and a very good reaction time from the Mercedes driver as well. Coming out of the pit lane, he manages to, it's very difficult pit exit I must say, because you need to make sure that you keep that turn going when you press the pit exit button. But he stays in P1, Leonardo. T gets a 3-second time penalty as we're 3 wide going into turn 1. Not quite, as Lynx Adventura stays in P3 on his 11 lap old hard. Rambo Jambo is battling very hard with the McLaren, but can Lynx Adventura stay P3? That would be incredible result for him if he can, but Slow Dog is in to P4 with his brand new tyres. It will be a matter of minutes before he's ahead of Lynx. Roland now very close to the back. He's using his overtake. He's wanting to get past Hake, because he knows this DRS zone is where you want to get past. This is where you can get past in the track. He pulls the inside. He gets the inside line and he gets ahead of Slow Dog in the V car. Good driving from F1XL Roland, it must be said. And now we've got the top 4 to be the top 4 drivers in the championship. Constructors, 6 different constructors in the top 6 here. There is a yellow flag at turn 1. What's happened? We need to know. As there's a virtual safety car because BT has crashed and he has broken his front wing fully. Wow. Virtual safety car. Is anyone going to pit under it? I assume Powell will. Yes, he will. Going into the pits goes Powell to get rid of those soft tyres. I'm not surprised at all. But I totally see where he's coming from. There's a Haas of BT goes wide. Battling with my life. The two teammates having a fierce rivalry, and BT's in the wall. He crashes. He's got a wheel missing. That's another virtual safety car. What's going to happen here? They all slow down again. That is not good for the Haas team. I knew as soon as they went wheel to wheel through that section that was never ending well, as one of the drivers did appear to touch the wall just before and then just go straight into the wall. Leonardo then weaving to try and get those tyre temperatures in. Safety car comes in this lap then, there it is. Adski will be wanting to hold the back of the Mercedes, and Haekjao will be wanting to hold the back of that V car. We'll be wanting to get ahead of both of these drivers in no time. Let's have a look, see what ends up happening here then. And then you need to wait so long, but he goes. Leonardo is flat to the foot to the floor. It's Adski who comes right behind Haekjao, right behind Adski. Haekjao, can he make a move in Adski? He'll be wanting to get that move done as soon as possible for the championship reasons. Heicho only 3 tenths behind, no moves done immediately, but there is. Link's Adventura ahead of Wadey, and My Life FC ahead of Rambo Jambo as they're wheel to wheel in towards turn 2. Can they avoid contact? Can they avoid an incident? They can, as Rambo Jambo gets back ahead of My Life. Heicho gets ahead of Adski then, as I said he would, and he now has to put his foot to the floor to try and chase after Leonardo. As Slow Dog also gets past Adsi. Slow Dog will be a main concern for both Heicho and Leonardo for this race. Does he go into the pits? He does go into the pits. Has he got damage? That would not be good. Why is Slow Dog going to the pits? He is in such a good position at DRS, and wow, that is not very good for the V-car driver right to the end and the back of the field. He's got to serve that drive-through penalty. Of course he does. Yes, I forgot he had to do that. Wow, that's unfortunate for the V-car driver. Hubday and Skangman then battling as F1XL Roland gets ahead of Adski. Heicho now 2 seconds behind Leonardo. He is falling off from the back of this Mercedes driver. Link's Adventura wheel to wheel with a Ferrari. Can they avoid contact? They can. That was very impressive from both drivers. Well done to them both for not having incredible amounts of contact. The Haas then, I think I saw My Life hit the wall in the background there. Not very good from him. As we see Yadon checks now only 4 tenths away from Adski. Getting very close. And now only 9 tenths. We must have made a mistake through cancel section because RPL Titan Iron is now right on the back of him as Skangman gets ahead of the Aston Martin. Is that the Aston Martin touched the wall? I think it was. I think the Aston Martin now has issues as Hubday gets a 3-second time penalty. Yes, as I said, I think the Aston Martin has issues, and he does. He has a front wing end plate damage that's not good for the Aston Martin at all, as Wadey then gets past. Obviously he gets a better exit because he has a front wing. But in the meantime, Leonardo, he has won this race start to finish. The Mercedes driver showing who is in the lead of the championship, showing his face, making sure everybody knows it's him. It's him who wins the Baku Grand Prix here in F1XL Division 3. Brilliant job from him as Heicho manages to recover from a P7 qualifying into P2 and Roland finishes P3. With Yadon Checks and Skingman in P5 with Rady finishing P6. RPL Titan Iron, Link's Adventure and Hubday are all right next to each other. And a million other drivers across the line. So much so I didn't manage to have a look at all the names, but all I know is Hubday in the end has finished P12. So your provisional results here for the F1XL Division 3 race are Leonardo in P1 with Hick in P2, Roland goes P3 with Checks in P4, Skangman P5 with Wadey P6, Adske P7, Slow Dog in P8 with RPL Titan Iron in P9. My Life FC manages to get points in that Haas with Links in P11. Hubday goes P12 with DNG Titan in the Alpine going 13th with Rambo Jambo in 14th. BT goes 15th with Powell in 16th.